been doing it for so many years, embezzling money from the temple, and people, he's pretty intimidating to a lot of people. So he has it set up where, he's been there for 40 plus years, so he knows every nook and cranny of who is who and what is going on and how he's manipulating the whole system. One man show. So
Yeah, but I mean, how much money comes in per month, would you say?
how much money comes in a month?
Yeah.
Probably, I'll have to look at the counts, but more than $10,000.
Wow.
Okay. And some of that money goes towards electricity and mortgage payment and stuff like that.
See, they have close to probably like $900,000-$850,000 cash in the bank that's sitting there with
Really?
only two people who can see it, meaning that only these two, the president and the treasurer. They are
So what
the
makes you think that money? What makes you think there is that money then?
That's the thing. We're like, let's see the accounts. Where's the money? We want to see it. He's like, no, we'll give you the accounts. We'll give you the accounts. I'm like, why are you saying this? We want to see the money in the bank.
Yeah. So it shouldn't take that much to like put a gun to his head. Right?
Mhm.
I don't mean literally put a gun to his head, but I mean it shouldn't be that hard to make him roll over.
Well, he is rolling over, but it takes some time because, he's been there for so long. He has his own people in the management who are coercing with him and in cahoots with him.
Well,
So
it means anybody that's in cahoots with him must be getting money.
yes, everyone that is cahoots with him is getting money.
But if it's $10,000 a month, the total income, that doesn't seem as though. I mean, if you divide that up in 10 people, that's only $1,000.
No, it's more than that. I'm just giving you a figure off my head. We will have to audit the account. Like I told you, there's about 800 to 900,000 in the bank. That's what they're saying. That's how much money. No one has seen it except these two people. You get it?
Yeah.
Only these two people, the president and the treasurer, only they have access to seeing the money.
And they say there's that much money in the account?
That's what they're saying. But the public,
They don't have to.
Hmm?
They could say it's half that amount and no one could challenge it.
yes, that's what I told them. I said that, hey, he's saying this, but he can say anything he wants. He's been cheating for all these years. What makes you think he won't cheat you again? So
Now, are you sure that cheating is the right word to use?
what?
Is cheating the right word to use?
Cheating, stealing, embezzling.
Yeah, but I mean, if they set it up so that he can do it like that, then he's not doing anything wrong, right?
If they set it up to
Did they set it up that way?
no, they didn't set it up that way. Over time, when the old people died, meaning the old trustees died, these people, this person who's the president, he had his own people come in, and then he started distributing things here and there, and people took advantage of that, and he also took a substantial advantage from the temple accounts.
How do you know?
How do I know? How do I know? Because we've been asking for the accounts for the past.
I'm not challenging you.
No, I know. I'm telling you. How do we know? It's because we have been asking for the accounts and transparency for the past 6-7 years.
Okay.
And he has not been able to provide the statements, the documents, or outside what you call auditing. Yes, he has not been able to provide that.
So what would it take to get an audit?
Well, apparently in the next few days he's going to give the accounts, but people are going to say, we don't want to see what you have written and concocted amongst yourself. No, we want to see the actual bank account and all the receipts that have been written and all the expenses that have been written, receipts for the
But still,
expenses.
if he gives an account on letterhead signed by him, right, not just on the back of an envelope, if he does that, then from that point onward, it should be easy to get a what you call it? Should be easy to get a audit. Once he comes up with a figure, then you can easily get an audit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once they get that and they'll be like, okay, this is what you have given us. Now provide all the other details and we'll get it audited.
Well, so why is he willing to do that? To give any figures at all? He knows that it'll lead to an audit, so why does he do it?
Well, that's a very good question because the trustees are asking for it. Where's the money? We want to see the accounts. What is it? So,
Well, so it doesn't seem that it's helping him a lot to do that.
well, it's not helping him, but people are wanting it. So he has to produce it.
So
They're demanding
then,
it.
Yes, people are
question
demanding
is-
it.
My question is, what's the difference between him giving his accounting and giving a examination of the books? What's the difference?
Well, if he gives his accounting and without verifiable proof from an external auditor, certified auditor, that means that he can put whatever he wants in it and balance the books, meaning that he can minus, plus, whatever. And if he does that and the people take it, then okay, it's okay. We trust him. But people do not trust him.
Well, yeah. But once he does that, reveals the figures, can you put the power in the hands of the trustees?
Well, yeah, because he's going to give an account and then the trustees will want to verify it. Be like, okay, you have given us this. Now, thank you very much. Now provide the stuff that we want so we can get an external audit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, here is the big but. If he is not taking any Lakshmi from the temple, everything will be all right. But if he is taking, he's going to get caught here.
Yes, because there's nothing in his contract with the temple that entitles him to any money.
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes.
There's no agreement that gives him a undisclosed amount or a percentage amount or anything like that.
No.
Is that the temple that somebody has the Radharani on the license plate or something of that sort?
No,
I remember we went.
No, it's the big one. Remember, with the big kitchen and the big hall?
Yeah.
Not the small one. Rumpa Manjari, you remember the big one?
Yeah.
Not the Sikh one.
Yeah, not the Sikh one. The one with the Hanuman, Lakshmi Narayan, Radha Krishna, Saraswati, Durga. Yes. Yeah.
Well, that must be a pretty expensive thing to run.
It's costing about, I think, approximately $8,000 to $10,000 per month to run.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah,
I mean, somebody who paid for the kitchen, who paid for the building.
All the money came from the public. All the money came from the public. Everything coming from the public.
So in a lump sum, before they got started, they raised the money and then got built the building or something like that.
You got to remember, this institution is more than 40 years old. It started back in 1977 or something. So
yeah,
and then they got the land. People donated for the land, and then they built that building and they updated it. They added the kitchen. They made the back hall in the 90s. So it was a gradual process to where it is now.
Right. And that same guy was there that whole time?
Yes, he has been there since the 1970s, probably 76, 75. He was a young man at the time. he was a young man at the time, probably in his 20s or you know, early 20s. So
So
now,
this has been his cash cow.
yes, has been his cash cow. Exactly.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. So,
Well, if there's anything, Rupa's very intelligent, and if there's anything I can do to help, just let us know, and we'll pitch in and help with your,
oh,
you know.
that's great. I'll give you his number so you can call him. Be like, hey, you know, I'm from, you know, I'm so and so. I visited your wonderful temple, and I've heard from Mr. Ronald Singh that there's some kind of thing going on here. I can certainly help you, and see what he says.
Oh, help you against Ronald Singh, you mean?
Yes, against Ronald Singh. Yes, or
Okay, I'll be glad. Look, whatever you need, I'll do it.
Joy. So in this way, you know, he'll get to know you and be like, oh, Narayan will be like, you'll get a feel for what he is and what he's doing.
Yes, yes.
You can be like, I've heard Ronald's side of the story. Maybe he's biased. You know, maybe he wants to be the president. You know, but
I think you should be the president, Ramachandra.
no, because this is not our Vaishnava standard. You know, we can't do that. You know, it's
Well, you could change it. You could improve
no,
it.
it's working with Hindus. You know, it's very, very hard. You know, it's like nearly impossible.
Tell them they're not Hindus anymore. They're Sanatana Dharma.
Yes.
Hindu, that's from the past. Are we? We're not live yet, are we?
No, we are live. So I wanted this piece to be recorded. So
Oh, we are live.
yes.
And you wanted this recorded. Okay.
Yes.
So anyhow, on the record, since we're recorded, I'm with you all the way.
Jai. Okay. So let's go to our Krishna conscious program. Let's rock and roll.
That's not a Krishna conscious program. Rock and roll.
Okay. I wanted to share this video that someone sent me here. It's very.
Yeah. If I could ask you, you put up something on Facebook with some guy giving a class. Didn't mention who it was. The guy was sort of a pasty face sitting on an asana, and then it had all sorts of weird stuff on the same page, like girls dancing sexy dances and stuff like that.
That's not me. I did that.
Well, you sent it to me.
I sent it to you on Facebook.
Yeah.
No, I posted a video of Vaisheshika giving it. I'll show you what I posted. 1 second.
Is that Vaisheshika that was there?
Yeah, the guy giving the initiation. He said, my samskar was meeting you in the attic of some temple. And then you chased after me, you know.
You chased after him or he chased after you?
Something like that. The Vaisheshika is telling that the guy who is becoming his disciple, he chased after Vaisheshika.
Oh, so not you, somebody else.
Someone else, yeah. I'll play the video. Give me 1 second.
Sure. So whose Facebook page is that?
That's your Facebook page.
Whose?
Yours.
No, it couldn't be.
I didn't post any girls dancing on your.
Well, are there girls dancing on my Facebook page?
You said something like that, didn't you?
I didn't know it was my Facebook page. I thought it went along with what you said.
Oh no.
No, it's something I wouldn't put on my Facebook page in a million years.
Okay, 1 second. All right, let me get this going. So we'll have
how can I prevent people from doing stuff like that?
How can you prevent it? 1
Yeah.
second. You'll have to change the settings.
What does that mean?
Okay. We'll talk about it in a bit. Let me get the discussion going here.
Yeah, let's
try. Okay. Let me share the sound also. Okay, everyone's ready to see it. So this is at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. We have devotees getting initiated by this person here, Vaisheshika Prabhu.
Yeah.
This is an excerpt from his initiation video at Silicon Valley. So we're at 4 seconds mark here.
Lokaram Prabhu, I told you today, my main samskar was meeting you at the top of the stairs in the attic of the Chicago temple. Chased after me. How many years ago was it?
Did you guys catch it?
Yeah.
In the attic of the Chicago temple. Chased after me. How many years ago was it?
So there you go. I just wanted to share that. It's pretty interesting, huh? Chasing.
What's the purport?
The purport is, 1 second, something's going on in the background. Well, the purport is that he's saying that I am a guru, so-called this, people chase after me. You chased after me and now you're my disciple. That's the purport.
Right.
Okay. I imagine there's some significance to that somewhere.
What significance?
Yeah, the significance, I'm looking for it.
Anyways,
So somebody chased Vaisheshika. So he's trying to say, you chased after me, now you caught me, and now you're my disciple.
yes, basically.
Lucky him.
Lucky him. Joy. Okay. Now to the next video. This is pretty instructive here. This is from the Gurukul. 1 second. 1 second. Let me share this video. Share screen. Okay. This is, we'll hear it.
At this particular time, this was
Who is that?
1976.
This is
Rupa Vilas.
Parikesh. At that time, I was.
This is Rupa Vilas Das. Okay. Can you hear Narayana Prabhu? Can you hear?
I can hear. Yeah, I hear great.
At that particular time, this was 1976, I think. Parikesh. At that time, the Gurukul was in a guest house room. We only had 4 or 5 kids. And Harikesh pulled me over to the side. He was at that time Prabhupada's secretary, and he said, "You're not running this Gurukula properly." He said, you should be like a guru figure to these children. You should be like the guru. You should not have such familiar relations. You should be like a guru. And I've never been all that submissive, so I said, well, maybe that's your opinion. I said, but as far as I know, Prabhupada never instructed us that way. And he'd instructed us a fair amount in Dallas, and I thought I had some idea what he expected. So I don't think that's... But anyway, he really getting on my case, and I kind of felt this, didn't know what to think. And then I went on upstairs, and a few minutes later, somebody came pounding up the stairs, knocking at the door. "Prabhupada wants to see you right away." And I'd never been summoned before, so I was kind of sort of a little bit shocked. And the only thing I could think to do was check to make sure I had tilak on, because I knew that you didn't want to go before the spiritual master without tilak. So I ran down the stairs, came into Prabhupada's rooms, offered my dandavats, and just as I got up, Prabhupada was sitting behind his desk looking really, really grave. With the way his lips would turn down, kind of. He said, "So, you think you are guru?" I said, "What?" He said, "You think you are guru?" And I said, "Prabhupada, I never said that." And I was looking around the room desperately, and I saw Harikesh. I said, "He said that." So Prabhupada said, "What is this?" So then Harikesh was tempted to explain to Prabhupada, I guess, what his idea was. But after a couple of sentences, Prabhupada just waved him off. And then he looked back at me again, and he said, "You are not guru. He said, I am Guru. I said, I know. He went like this, you know, like, be quiet. He said, you are the experienced disciple. You are teaching the inexperienced, but you are not Guru. Is it clear? And I said, yes, Prabhupada. All right, he said, all right then. And then he sort of dismissed me. So I walked out of the room completely like crushed, thinking, what have I done? You know, I never thought that. Now I'm being chastised for it. And then years later, I kind of had the realization after we went through the period of difficulty, especially just after Prabhupada left, and where a lot of people were thinking that they were Guru who maybe weren't so qualified, that I never had any illusions about what my situation was, at least. And that was kind of Prabhupada's mercy, that if I had any seeds of such desire, they were crushed from that one experience. So that made quite an impression on
Pretty
me.
interesting video, huh?
That's
Yeah,
excellent.
It's too bad that Srila Prabhupada got the wrong idea about him. 'Cause,
Wait, I have an explanation. Prabhupada is not fooled, but his sannyasi, that was Harikesh, right?
Hmm.
Harikesh was the one that was saying to be the guru. This Rupa Vilas got the blame for it.
Yeah, but can I give you a interesting possible explanation?
Sure, yes, we want to hear this.
Prabhupada gave used to say, like, when a man gets married, his wife comes into the family of his family, and they have their own way of doing everything, but the girl is desperately trying to figure out what to do because she's from a family where they do things maybe a little bit differently, how to cut the vegetables, you know, like that. So you know what Prabhupada said? The woman talks to her daughter and says, now dear, remember, we always cut the bitter melon into 2-inch pieces. Meanwhile, the daughter-in-law is looking and says, oh, 2-inch pieces, good. We always do 1-inch pieces in my house, you know. And Prabhupada defined that as you teach the daughter-in-law by teaching the daughter. Of course, the daughter already knows. She's already been taught. She's in the family. It's the way they do it. But you're not going to sit there telling the daughter-in-law how to do this, how to do that. She'll be crushed. So you teach the daughter-in-law by teaching the daughter, knowing that the daughter-in-law is anxious to know how it's done in this house. Do you get it?
Jai,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Yes.
I think that is the explanation. He didn't want to chastise Harikesh, so he chastised and Prabhupada was not fooled. He knew. What do you think Harikesh said? That Harikesh said, oh, he's acting like a guru? That was the opposite of what Harikesh said. He said, you should be acting like a guru. So Harikesh probably went in and said, he should be acting like a guru. He's not acting like a guru in the Gurukul. So then Prabhupada calls him in and says, no, you cannot act like a guru. Who is he chastising? Him? Prabhupada knows it wasn't him. He's chastising Harikesh. But how can you chastise a top guy in your organization who is a sannyasi? So you chastise the person that he misdirected for accepting that misdirection.
Hari Bol, Jai.
Do you like that?
Amazing, yes. How Prabhupada...
Can you see it that way, Rupa Mantra?
Yeah, I get it.
So Prabhupada knew that Rupa Vilas wasn't doing that, obviously, because he can see. Prabhupada says the face is the index of the soul. Prabhupada takes one look at him, knows exactly what's happening, takes one look at Harikesh and say, oh, someday he's going to run off with his masseuse thinking she's Radharani, you know, after taking a bunch of drugs. So, I mean, so he was chastising Hari Vilas, not Rupa,
Harikesh.
Harikesh,
Chastising
not Rupa
Harikesh.
Vilas. Yeah, he's chastising Harikesh, not Rupa Vilas.
Wow, that is pretty amazing how Prabhupada's transcendental genius is working, but Harikesh could not get the message, or maybe he did get the message, maybe he didn't, but apparently he tried to be a Diksha liberated soul, Uttamadakari Guru, and that didn't work out for him too well.
Well, they all did.
Mhm.
Sannyasi and Diksha. Can you explain that to me?
Diksha means initiation.
And sannyasi?
No. Diksha means when you come in to, like in ISKCON temple, you can become Prabhupada's disciple once you ask, may I get initiated as a disciple of Prabhupada? It's like going to the Catholic Church. Can I get the, what is it you get? You get the holy water, the sacrament. What is it you get when you become a Catholic?
Baptized.
Baptized. Okay, so he said, may I be baptized? But instead of baptized, we say Diksha or initiated.
And what about sannyasi?
Oh, that's another initiation. There's 3 levels of initiations. One is just to be initiated. The other is if you want to worship the deity or cook in the kitchen or do stuff like that, you have to become a Brahmin, because only the Brahmins can prepare foodstuffs for Krishna. So you take a second initiation as a Brahmin, and you say special mantras that were actually given by Lord Brahma at the beginning of the universe. You're given that mantra by the pure devotee, which is pretty intense. And then after that, you can take another Diksha, which is sannyasi. You could also consider that if you get married, that's another form of Diksha. And so you get married, or you take sannyas, or you get married, and then you leave marriage and take sannyas. So there's all these different Dikshas.
Thank you.
It simply means, it's like baptism, different levels of.
Thank you, Prabhu.
You're welcome, Prabhu. So I wonder if Rupa Vilas ever figured out what Prabhupada was actually doing.
He didn't
so
seem
high.
to.
Yeah. Well, maybe I should get in touch with him, but if I knew how. Do you know how to get in touch with him, Ramachandra?
What did you say?
Do you know how to get in touch with Rupa Vilas?
No idea where he is. Yeah, I have no idea, but I can find out.
Where did that pastime take place?
He was saying about, what is it, Texas Gurukul?
Yeah, Dallas.
Dallas.
Oh, Dallas. Oh, that was a nightmare place. No wonder Prabhupada was so strict.
Mm.
They were horribly abusing the children there.
Wow.
They beat them, shower them with cold water at the age of 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Ice water.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty horrific when you think about that. Devotees are treating other spirit souls as, we have the highest philosophy of treating people nicely, but it's like, we treated them more horrible than the karmis. I mean,
And some karmis,
some
but certainly more horrible than nice karmis.
Yeah, I mean, the karmis might eat flesh and drink wine and smoke cigarettes, but our devotees, they did things which are unthinkable. So what's the reason for this? I mean, for regulated principles, chanting Hare Krishna, but abuse the children, abuse the women. What's going on here?
Because it's simple enough. It happens in the Catholic Church also.
Huh.
Right. Mahaprabhu, the church has practically gone bankrupt in many cases for all the lawsuits by priests molesting the boys. It's people that are attracted to that sort of thing are attracted to an occupation that'll give them access.
Wow. So this is very dangerous.
If you go into a public school, you have a principal, you have other teachers, you have PTA, Parent Teacher Association, you have a lot of communication, and abuse takes place there too, in the public schools. But in the case where it's a parochial school and the kids are locked away with the teacher, if the teacher is not good, he can go over the edge, or maybe he's already over the edge. And another reason is that the GBC, unelected, refusing to be elected GBC, remember the year that he said it was, like 76? That's after the GBC refused to be elected in 1970. And after they refused to follow the topmost urgency letter in 1974, where Prabhupada said to follow exactly the direction of management. So they had already established rebellion against Prabhupada in these matters. And practically everything you run across, there is what can Prabhupada do? He is giving people an opportunity. Just like supposing you get a scholarship to go to Harvard. That doesn't guarantee you're going to get out at the top of your class. It just means you have a chance to come out at the bottom of your class or come out in the middle of your class. You have a chance. You're given the chance. So everybody was initiated, was given a chance. Where was the GBC? Well, they weren't elected. They were busy protecting the child molesting gurus. If the GBC were elected, the children coming from the temple to the Gurukula would have a GBC who, after 3 years of being GBC, would go back to the same temple where that child came from. Do you think the temple president would allow a Mataji, a mother in that temple, to have her child molested? No, they copied the Catholic Church, circle the wagons, let the kids be in a situation, and then, of course, protect the image of their organization by not letting anyone know what's going on. I mean, what could be more bald? But it came, essentially, the structural problem was not elected GBC. No temple president's going to encourage a school teacher to molest a child of his congregation member, maybe someone that he even talked to, and they joined the movement and he performed the wedding and then they had a child. Why would he encourage that child to be molested? Do you see? Hello, is anybody there?
Yes, we're here. Yes, why would he allow the child to be molested? Yes.
Yeah. Why would the temple president want a child of a person that he handed the beads to because Prabhupada wasn't there, did the fire sacrifice for her husband, got them together, she gets pregnant, she has a child. When that child is 4, why would he want that child to be molested?
Yeah.
There's a connection.
Right. Yes.
And if he did encourage that child to be molested, the parents would kill him. Right?
Yes.
So how can they, so that should explain it. It's when they began to copy the absoluteness, the unelectability of the GBC. The minute the GBC is not elected, it becomes the Council of Cardinals. Or I put it, a tyranny. Because a tyranny means no representation. Tyrant. The tyrant says what you have to understand, and you cannot disagree. Or you can disagree with one tyrant, one GBC, and he'll bring in a group of other GBCs, and they'll talk it over. Either he'll modify his position, or they'll all tell you that you're wrong. But it's still tyranny.
Right.
So this Gurukula problem came about due to tyranny. That Prabhupada, now when Prabhupada wrote the direction of management, could I ask right now, Ramachandra and everybody, who created the direction of management? I'm asking.
Who created the
Krishna.
direction? Oh, okay.
Who?
Krishna.
Yes, not Prabhupada. Krishna through Prabhupada.
Right.
This is where the League of 10K has got to make a cardinal difference. We're not a bunch of embodied souls on the Kanisa Adhikari platform listening to an old man that came from India and then knowing better than him about many things. We are jivas, eternal parts of Barcelona Krishna. That's why we are in this Istagosthi. We're trying to speak as spirit soul, not reasoning and thinking and going by our experience, but we're going as spirit soul speaking the truth. And what is the truth? We have no way of knowing the truth except from Prabhupada. And why is Prabhupada the truth? Because he's the big guru guy? No, but because he came from Krishna Loka and he's constantly channeling Krishna. So everything Prabhupada said was actually spoken by Krishna for us. Krishna doesn't do things like that. Krishna is in Krishna Loka. He stays in Krishna Loka. He's not involved. Paramatma does. He comes here, but the thing about Paramatma, he'll let you do what you damn please. If you want to kill somebody, here's how to do it. If you want to eat, if you're a maggot, you want to eat dead flesh, oh, here's a dead corpse. You can eat it. That's what Paramatma does. He gives you whatever you want. But here the spiritual master doesn't do that. He says, if you come to me with the intention of becoming restored to your original Krishna consciousness, then I will speak, meaning Krishna will speak through Prabhupada, not directly, but through Prabhupada to you. So there's nothing that Prabhupada ever said that was not coming directly from Krishna. That is the distinction the Vaisheshika needs to find before too many people chase him around the temple to get initiated. Does that make sense? Do you like?
Yes.
What do you think, Ramachandra Prabhu? Hello, Ramachandra, are you there or you have to do something?
Oh, sorry. I was muted. So no. Yeah, I said that's the fact. That's the Siddhanta.
Yeah, you're not only muted, you're invisible.
No, I can see myself.
Well, I couldn't see you.
Rupert, can you see me?
I couldn't see you either, but I can see you now.
Now I
I can-
cannot see you. Cannot
Huh?
see you.
Cannot?
I can see you.
Okay.
You're invisible.
No, I'm on video, so let's continue. Vinayaka Prabhu, do you have any questions, realizations, anything you want to ask?
Yeah. It's like regarding the same thing, I was asking that, there is one thing that we usually say that those who want to be cheated, they are cheated. So I've seen many pure, like from our platform, they look like very pure devotees, like they are not in the top leadership, but the ordinary devotees, like in ISKCON, they are, some of them are very sincere and very pure and very hardworking and dedicated towards their service. And so sometimes I think like they have all their dedication for Krishna, and whatever they have studied in their books regarding the Guru Tattva or the service to the Guru. So whomever they are they are serving as their spiritual master. They are serving to that particular dedication to any person. So my question is like, if they are very sincere people, so I don't think like they wanted to be, there is anything regarding their service that they want to be cheated, then why such an arrangement has been made that they are put in the shelter of such gurus who just took political power in certain organization and they are not bona fide, but still they are leading pure devotees. So
What is the qualification of the guru? Obviously, you're saying things that so-called gurus are doing, but that doesn't sound like a guru to me. So what is the qualification of a guru?
yeah, like my question is not from the point of guru. My question is from the point of devotees, like the sincere people who want to be Krishna conscious, who want to follow instructions to reach to Krishna. So many times we see that there are very sincere people in Krishna conscious movements, which are generally presided by non bona fide gurus. So if they are
Okay,
like
so
generally those people don't
you're
want to be cheated, then why they are cheated?
you're making a very good distinction. First of all, even with that guru there, they're not being cheated. Why? Because if they chant 16 rounds a day, if they hear, they have already heard Prabhupada chant the Hare Krishna mantra at least once, right? They worship the deity, they take prasadam, they follow the regulated principles. So they have a bogus guru, a guy there that isn't qualified to be a guru. They're not being cheated. They've been given everything already. The guru is cheating himself and others, but they're not being cheated. They're being given everything from Prabhupada. Prabhupada is already, by creating ISKCON, everything in ISKCON, including ISKCON itself, Prabhupada said, ISKCON is my body. So they're not being cheated, just the cheaters there pretending that he's a guru. Now, let me only say, not even jokingly, supposing you took a nice big pink pig and you washed him up and you put a garland around his neck and put him on a vyasa and told everyone to say, this is your guru, and they're in an ISKCON temple, so what? They're still chanting Hare Krishna from Prabhupada. They're worshiping deities installed by Prabhupada. They're taking prasadam from recipes given by Prabhupada. They are chanting Hare Krishna, hopefully melodies provided by Prabhupada. They're going on Sankirtan, ordered by Prabhupada, meaning Lord Chaitanya. And so what if there's a pig sitting there in a big red chair? It's sort of strange, but what harm does it do the person that's making advancement in the Kanistha Adhikari platform? Well, he may get slowed down, or maybe the pig will be an inspiration to him. Who knows? He's such a good pig. He just sits there all day long. It's fantastic. How does he do it? And he only eats Krishna Prasadam. And pigs are known to eat stool, and this pig only takes prasadam. So this is a pretty damn good pig.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm saying, what difference does that make? What sort of pig is sitting on the asana?
yeah, like that makes sense. But
Yeah,
there is one more thing that you told, like
go
uh,
ahead.
if like if they are sorry, like if those people, if someone is following a wrong guru, and if the guru falls down and he goes to hell, then the innocent disciples behind him also have to go to hell behind him. So after doing so much sincere service and everything, they have to go hell behind a person whom they do not even know that that person is a real guru or not. So that
Well,
thing
that's
comes.
a hazard, and that is, you make an extremely good point, because it's up to the disciple, not the guru, to be cautious. If a guy sits there looking down his nose at you with a big garland on and says, I am guru, you can look at him and say, are you? Or you can say, oh, yeah, you're a guru. How do you know he's a guru? Everyone in the room says he's a guru. So that's your own. If you're buying a Cadillac and it has a Ford engine in it, why? You're being cheated. So you have to be careful not to be cheated. Yes, it's a harm, but because everyone is actually thinking they're worshiping a bona fide guru, they make spiritual advancement even though the guru is not. Will he have to go to the planet of the guru when the guru dies? Well, it depends on how sincerely he's worshiping the pig instead of worshiping Prabhupada. If he worships a pig, then he'll be born into a family of pigs with little piglets. If he worships Prabhupada, primarily, he may have to he may become a disciple of Prabhupada in his next lifetime next to a pigsty, where he can say, look at those pigs over there, what they're up to, not realizing that's the guy that gave him Diksha in his last life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Ultimately, we have to understand, Krishna will never allow anyone sincere to be cheated. Even if they're worshiping the wrong guru, but they think they're worshiping Prabhupada, Prabhupada will be the object of their worship. But if they are worshiping the guru instead of Prabhupada, then that's their problem. Because look at what happened with Kirtanananda. All of his followers worship him more than Prabhupada. And there's others too, so many. They worship instead of Prabhupada. So if they do that, then those are the ones that go to where the guru went. In the case of Kirtananda, a practicing homosexual and pedophile, even after being a guru, that is not a very good place to be. Okay?
Yeah. So generally the concept is like that usually the new people are taught that you
Yeah.
cannot you cannot jump the disciplic succession. So in order to please Prabhupada, you have to please your immediate guru that they are being taught. So if
They have
you
been taught that, and
worship guru like God, then Prabhupada would be pleased.
that's called anartha. That's an obstacle to spiritual advancement because it's not true. They're told to do something that's not true. Asat, not sat, not spiritual. Asat, anti-spiritual. They're being taught the opposite of the truth. However, because they're practicing Krishna consciousness in good faith, they will make advancement. But then again, remember, the Kanistha Adhikari is not an immediate platform for going back to Godhead. You may have to take many, many, many births as a Kanistha Adhikari before you go back to Godhead. Why? Because you're not interested in going back to Godhead. You're interested in your body. You're interested in purifying your body. Oh, I want to have a Brahmana fully purified body. I want to take only Krishna Prasad. I want to chant and purify my mind. But still, the person is thinking like body. It's only when you come to the Madhyamadikari platform, you say, I no longer want to identify with my body at all ever again. And I want to begin to transition into my spiritual body, which it will be developed between myself and Krishna on the verge of becoming Krishna conscious and ultimately admitted into Krishna Loka by the success of the perfection of the rasa with Krishna. I worship him, he receives, he reciprocates, I worship more, he reciprocates, I worship more, he reciprocates, until finally it's a perfect case of reciprocation. Krishna wants you there with him. Kirtana Maya rolls up, you come under the protection of Yoga Maya, which means it isolates the identity of your rasa with Krishna, that you're a cowherd boy or a gopi, not just not everything all at once, not impersonal, in other words. And when that occurs, then you become an Uttamadikari. And at that point, if you want, you can come back to planet Earth and deliver the fallen souls, the way Prabhupada did.
Yeah.
Or you say in
Yeah.
Krishna Loka, that's between you and Krishna. It has nothing to do with your scheme. It has to do with your desire and Krishna's desire never being at odds with each other. Your desires and Krishna's desires must be in complete, balanced, reciprocal, loving, transcendental harmony. And that's different. They don't teach you that in ISKCON temple because they don't know it. They never even imagine it. It's all over Prabhupada's books. You can read it everywhere you want. You can see what is an Uttamadhikari. You can see what is a Kanista Adhikari, and you can and a Madhyamadhikari, and you can see how to become an Uttamadhikari. It's right there in the Nectar of Instruction, and
Yeah.
and you can it's all in, and also a Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru. People are arguing that a Shiksha Guru is like a senior godbrother. No, that's not a Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru must be on the same level as the Diksha Guru, and the Diksha Guru must be an Uttama Adhikari or pure devotee. So if ISKCON is teaching that a non-pure devotee can be a Diksha Guru, then they're misleading the people they're telling that to. And if they say that the person who's a Kanista, neophyte devotee, who's doing a good job of being a neophyte devotee and he doesn't break the principles and all, is a Diksha Guru, well, they're again misleading the person who wants to take initiation. The Diksha Guru must be an Uttama Adhikari. Therefore, at the present moment, the only person who can accept you is Prabhupada. But Prabhupada has already accepted you by giving you the holy name. So you don't really need a formal initiation unless you want to live in the temple and do work in the temple, in which case they can give you an initiation to be a devotee of Krishna in the temple. That's Diksha. You see?
Yeah.
It's a much simpler than people think it is. But practically speaking, there's not going to be any guru after Prabhupada for the next 10,000 years. Now, Prabhu, Vinayak Sharma, is that who we're talking with? Vinayak Sharma?
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, Vinayak Sharma. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you, why do you need a guru after Prabhupada?
No, we don't need actually, but I
You
had
don't
some
need, because what would that guru do? Now, if people are Hindu, and as you may know by now, I'm saying the Hindu should reclaim his claim of real Vaishnavism by calling Sanatan Dharma, not Hindu. Hindu is an insult created by the Mughals. I won't get into it, but it's a very ugly insult, and people identified with it. Just like black people call each other the N-word. Totally not necessary. But in any event, so I encourage Sanatan Dharma, say that. And if you're a devotee of Krishna, follower of Prabhupada, then you can say, I come from the heritage of Sanatan Dharma. But here's the distinction I want to create for you, Vinayak Sharma Prabhu. And that is, the Hindu has a Brahmins and a hierarchy and everything, and presumably somebody who can give moksha or mukti like that. That's the idea. Lord Chaitanya took that all away. He broke open the storehouse of love of God. There's nothing that any Hindu teacher, guru, or Brahmin, or like that can give you that simply hearing the holy name of Krishna from Prabhupada's lips once will not accomplish. In other words, I don't want to terrify or disappoint those who are dreaming of getting initiated, but if you hear the holy name of Krishna, that's the object of the initiation. If you hear Krishna's name once, the Mahamantra once, you're going to go back to Godhead. When? Well, as Prabhupada told me, it may take some time. But it's guaranteed. It's like saying you have the winning lottery ticket, so now hang on to it. Well, when will I get the money? Well, it may take some time. Well, I will get the money? Yes, guaranteed. But when? Oh, you have to go through so many processes. Oh, okay. I can't just take it now? No, you have to go through the process. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's the holy name of Krishna is initiation and is your deliverance. When Lord Chaitanya broke open the storehouse of love of God, that meant all the religions were finished. Judaism, finished. You don't need a rabbi. Islam, finished. You don't need a Islamic sharif or whatever, or wazir. Christianity, you don't need it. You're not being taken anywhere. The holy name came to you via Prabhupada from his guru, from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, from Vishwanath Chakravarti and others, and from there directly from Lord Chaitanya, meaning from Radharani. We couldn't have more than we have right now. You say, well, if I'm delivered, if I'm going back to Godhead, why can't I see Krishna? Why aren't I completely surrendered to Krishna? And that's the question. You're going back to Godhead. You're already saved, as it were. The question is, why aren't you thinking of Krishna? Well, I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat. I'm thinking about my wife and my kids. I'm thinking about my bank account. That's why you're not seeing Krishna. This process of Istagosthi in the League for 10K is the process of letting go. Let go and let God. Let Paramatma guide you. He is Krishna. Let Paramatma guide you to understanding how to become a pure Uttama Adhikari, meaning Madhyamadhikari and Uttamadhikari. That's what you can become. So I've said a lot, and I hope not too much, but please understand it and take it to heart. You already have the object. You already have that which they promised you in Hinduism and every other religion, which is mukti. You've been given mukti by simply hearing the holy name once. That's all it takes. The holy name is a Shaktivish avatar. The holy name is Radha and Krishna. Shaktivish avatars, I guess.
Yes.
So anyhow, there we go. So keep going.
Yeah, Prabhu. So one more thing I wanted to ask that during your times in ISKCON, when Prabhupada used to do the temple activities, so in those times, was there a system in which uh, devotees are doing Guru Puja in front of the picture of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, or offering flowers to him, or doing some kind of obeisances to Bhaktisiddhanta
Well,
Saraswati Thakur?
in the course of any Arctic ceremony, Prabhupada is worshipped, Gaur Nitai is worshipped, Radhakrishna and Jagannath is worshipped, and there's all the pictures of the Sampradayas on the altar. So they automatically are worshipped at that time, not individually.
Yeah, because I'm asking this thing because right now what's happening, like in ISKCON, everyone may have their different gurus, but all the people they together still they are worshipping Srila Prabhupada, like doing Guru Puja, offering flowers and everything to the Srila Prabhupada. And generally, I think they are usually advised to think about their own guru in their mind and that kind of thing. But officially and publicly, they are still like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is forcing them to accept Prabhupada only as the guru of ISKCON.
Well, yes, that's an interesting fact, isn't it? No one dares to eliminate Prabhupada as the guru of ISKCON. They can add and add and add as much as they want. They can say, chant Prabhupada and think Vaisheshika or something like that. But that doesn't make it real. Prabhupada is the founder Acharya. If somebody wants to become a guru, they should go and start their own sampradaya somewhere else. They should not become guru in Prabhupada's temple.
Yeah, like Siddha Sarupa Anand Maharaj.
Yeah.
in those times.
So what they're doing is harmful, is bogus, but it's not fatal. And it definitely doesn't destroy ISKCON. It just makes it more confusing, and it makes ISKCON weaker and less able to deliver the fallen souls. If the GBC had been elected back in 1970 and they had gone on with it, every major city would have 200 or 300 temples in it, because the GBC helped the temple presidents open temples. But when they all wanted to control the existing temples, Los Angeles, a huge city with millions and millions of people in it, has only one temple. So if we had had the direction to manage, Los Angeles would probably have maybe as many temples. Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, is he there?
He's here, but he's not saying anything.
Yes, sir.
I
I'm
would
back.
ask,
Mahaprabhu is
Okay.
back.
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
how many Catholic churches are in the greater Los Angeles area?
I'd say thousands.
Well, yeah, it is.
Unlimited.
thousands.
Unlimited.
Not
No, I'm just kidding.
unlimited. Not unlimited. There's a certain number. I worked for the Archdiocese in the Los Angeles area Archdiocese. I don't know what.
I mean, there should have been unlimited ISKCON temples. That's what I mean. Sorry.
Well,
That makes you a-
there'll always be a limit. This is the material world.
Mahaprabhu,
This
you're
is the
saying
material
something?
world. Everything can be numbered and counted. But when I worked for the Archdiocese after the 1992 earthquake, I restored like a dozen Catholic churches. Okay. And I got to know all the priests. I got to know the monsignors. I got to know all the people that were there. And I got to know the people from the Archdiocese. At that time, there were about 14,000 Catholic churches in the greater Los Angeles area.
Oh, boy.
But that also includes Long Beach and Pasadena, stuff like that, the whole area. 14,000. And what have we got? One. Why do we have just one? Because the GBC refused to accept being elected by the temple presidents. Because if you have the GBC elected, the first thing the temple presidents will want to do is say, how can we open more temples? You know, when I came into the movement, when I was initiated at that time, basically the standard was you come into the temple, you are trained up for 6 months or so. And then after that, you go and open another temple. You open a temple. By that time, you know how to offer incense to the deity, you know how to cook prasadam, you know how to play mridanga, how to play harmonium or kartals or something. You open a temple. That's all it took, 6 months. I was one time asked at the New Dwarka in Los Angeles temple, I asked, this is like a decade or two ago, I asked a devotee asked me, I'm not satisfied. I wish I don't feel that things are going as well as they could. And I said, well, in this temple, I said, okay, why don't you go and open a temple? He said, open a temple? I'm not ready yet. I'm not qualified yet. How can I open a temple? I said, how many years have you been, how long have you been in the movement? He said, 10 years. I said, you've been 10 years. But I became initiated 6 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. But after that time, you open a temple for sure. Why? Because the temple needed, there's areas of LA, there's areas of the world where people have not been experienced to a temple. They can't go to a temple because there isn't one. So he said, 10 years, you're 20 times qualified to open a temple. He couldn't accept it. He couldn't understand it. It must be over his head because of the lies and the propaganda about what it takes to open a temple. And the GBC restricts who opens a temple.
Yeah, I also read that like they have a kind of law book, GBC law book, in which they are in a
Yes.
very tight bureaucracy throughout the world, even if you have to install a DT.
Well, from 1988 until 2012 or something of that sort, we had a temple and we invited people to stay there. But ISKCON didn't accept it. But it was a temple, it was an ISKCON temple. I'm an ISKCON devotee. I was initiated by Prabhupada. I opened the temple, but the local temple, the GBC did not accept it. In fact, they condemned it.
You could have renamed it to Sri Sri Gaur-Nitai Temple instead of ISKCON.
No, I will always make ISKCON. I was initiated, I have a certificate which states that I'm an initiated disciple of Prabhupada, and the certificate says ISKCON, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Temple, 518 Frederick Street, San Francisco, ISKCON, big sign saying ISKCON. Now, ISKCON is Prabhupada's body. I will say, when they actually banned me or excommunicated me or something like that from ISKCON some years ago. They banned me. And they said, Nardan, how does it feel that you're now banned from ISKCON? You can't visit a single ISKCON temple. And I said, ban me? I banned them years ago. How can they ban me? I'm senior. I banned them. You know, if you start to think of it, very few devotees left in the movement that are senior to me. They're dying off like flies. So anyhow, I'm talking, which is nice.
Nayaka Prabhu, do you have any more questions or realizations, Prabhu?
Yeah. One
Please
thing.
go ahead. Please go ahead. That's why we're here.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Like, there are many people like in the top leadership who have a very good influence over a lot of people in ISKCON. So even if like some system has been started in order to elect a GBC member, then naturally, just like what happens in Indian elections, that anyone can win the election by just manipulating votes or making some promises to the innocent public. So similar thing can also happen in a election of like GBC kind of thing, because in many occasions Prabhupada himself said many times that democracy is not a perfect system. In democracy, any rascal can become a leader by just manipulating votes of foolish people. So how is that going to happen? Like if the voting system has to be in place, then what's the guarantee that it would be a success? Because even Prabhupada denounced this conception of democracy.
Yes, Prabhupada denounced democracy. He even called it demon crazy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, ISKCON was never meant to be a democracy. It was meant to be something that people don't say because it never came to pass. But ISKCON, you know, United States and India too, I imagine, is not a democracy. It's a republic, but it's a democratic republic. In other words, in the United States, that democratically you elect House of Representatives to represent the population. In England, that would be called a House of Commons. But then the states, each individual state. Now, supposing each state was a temple, so each state elects two senators, right? In the United States. Is correct, right? So what are the senators? The GBC, Prabhupada created not a democracy, but a republic, meaning that the temple presidents, the states democracy means the individual citizens vote, or they are, represented by the House of Representatives, or they're called House of Representatives. Prabhupada did not create that. He did not want every ISKCON member to vote, but he did want the temple presidents to vote and elect GBC for 3-year, not 4-year terms. American senators can be elected 4-year terms, but his senators called GBC 3-year terms. So that means that Prabhupada created ISKCON as a republic. And when we have in America the Pledge of Allegiance, democracy is never mentioned. You know that, right? It said, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So Prabhupada actually created ISKCON as a republic, but they didn't want it. They wanted to turn it into a tyranny. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but a practical solution in the sense, just because, you are saying that difference between republic and a democracy, but still, temple presidents are also one of the ordinary devotees who are also a disciple of some person in the GBC.
No democracy is there. I mean, if it was democracy, then the congregation would elect the temple president. And it's theoretically possible, but Prabhupada never made a condition that the temple president should be elected. The reason that he didn't do that is obvious. Supposing that I have a house and I want to make it into a temple, and I'll be the temple president of that temple. And so the people start coming. What if they want to vote me out of my own house? They can't do that, You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but if you have a bunch of devotees and they get together and they rent or buy a place together, and the lease is in ISKCON's name, or the bill of sale, the deed is in ISKCON's name, then if they have a temple president, if they want, they could elect the temple president. The congregation can, but that's not part of Prabhupada's structure. It's just a natural structure of a group of people that have a leader. They can select their leader, or in the case if the leader owns the house, then if everybody hates the leader, then they can move out and go and find somebody else and leave the leader alone in his house.
Yeah, in case of Prabhupada, Prabhupada knew that many are going to fall down in the future, but he maintained their leadership position because they were very good at managing things. So Prabhupada actually, he did not, most of the times, he did not consider the spiritual advancement of a particular person to consider him for the leadership of an institution. Because,
Exactly. No, go ahead.
yeah, because for an institution, we require very good leaders who are good at managing things, and no matter how much spiritually advanced they are. If they are spiritually advanced, then that's an added point. But still, if they are not spiritually advanced, even then they are very good at managing things, organizing book distribution, and these things. So I think Prabhupada wanted to get the things, like get the work done in some sense, because many times leaders, in those times also, many leaders were not qualified.
Very interesting, very excellent point. May I say? I not only accept your point as well spoken, but I think you're meeting the criteria of the Istagosthi, which is speaking from Paramatma, letting Paramatma speak through you rather than just offering an off-the-wall opinion. So I thank you for that, and I honor Lord Paramatma for speaking through you, because yes, that is the exact absolute truth that you just said. Now, that means that as on the Kanista platform, you don't have to be super spiritually advanced to manage. As long as you don't try to claim to be a guru, everything's fine. And who is the guru? Well, the holy name is the guru. The Hare Krishna mantra is the guru. And how do we know the Hare Krishna mantra is the guru? Because it was delivered by Prabhupada. And where did Srila Prabhupada get it? He got it very rapidly, not through the entire Sadhak succession, but 500 years ago, whoever came after 500 years ago and revived by Thakur Bhaktivinoda, he got the Mahamantra from Lord Chaitanya, Radha Krishna. So it's very direct. 500 years ago. I mean, if you stop to think of it, if you're from a family that remembers its heritage, you could probably recite who was in your family 500 years ago. I can't. I can only go back maybe 300 or 400 years in my family in the United States. And I know where they came from in England and places like that. But I don't know anything about them, but I am aware of the Saxons and the people that were from there, you know, Welsh, Yorkshire, Scottish. I'm aware of my bloodline coming from there. And that goes back. So, and what is the 500 years ago? That is like Columbus discovering America, I think, isn't it? Actually, it's after that. It's more recent than Columbus discovering America. So we're dealing with recent history. 500 years is practically your family, my family. Now, there's lots of people that don't even know who their grandparents were. I'm not talking about people like that, but there are people who are aware of their lineage without going for computerized genetic testing and stuff. They know from oral history and books handed down and documents handed down. They know who their ancestors were. It's not that long ago. My point is, it's 500 years ago, 550 years ago, not that long ago. So that means that Prabhupada chanting as Lord Chaitanya is recent history. So it's not like it got lost 1,000 or 2,000 years ago or 5,000 years ago. No, didn't get lost. Came right with Prabhupada to America because he was transparent, representative of Krishna, transparent member of the Vaishnava Sampradaya. And what about after Prabhupada? Who's going to be the guru? And my big question is, you have the holy name delivered by a pure devotee from Radha and Krishna, particularly Radha, in the golden age of Kali, which means Radharani is golden. And I would like to ask, what do you need from an initiating guru? When I say initiating guru, I don't mean someone initiating you into Prabhupada's body, which means Prabhupada would be the initiating guru, considering ISKCON is his body. But I'm suggesting, what will a guru, what would a guru, such as Hindus have, such as Christians, Muslims, Baha'i, whatever, Jews, what would that guru give you that you don't get by hearing the avatar of Krishna in the form of the holy name? And if you can think of something, please tell me, because I can't think of anything.
Nothing.
Right.
Isn't that interesting? So no more gurus. The fact that ISKCON came up with gurus is because they thought that they thought of themselves as being like Hindus. That you have to have a guru to continue. But I'm saying to continue to what? Continue to the point of hearing the holy name of Krishna? You already got that before you even walked in the ISKCON door. That's why you walked in the ISKCON door. You heard Hare Krishna. So you're already delivered. So now the secret is you don't need to be delivered. You need to be perfected. Kanista, Madhyam, Uttamadhikari, that is for you. But how do you do it? Spread the holy name to every town and village. Chaitanya put it succinctly, wherever you go, whomever you meet, simply speak of Krishna. And that is Radharani's point of view. She wanted that. Wants that.
Okay, we have 2 minutes.
Oh, goodness. Let somebody speak who knows what they're talking about instead of me.
Jai. So thank you to all the devotees for joining. 2 minutes is coming up. Vinayak Prabhu, can you close it up? If you have anything you want to say, any questions, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, a lot of things have been cleared today, so I don't have much to
Okay.
say.
So let me ask you one question before we go. How did you come up with come in the program? Did you see it on Facebook, on YouTube, and how did you join in?
I saw it on YouTube.
Oh, you joined in YouTube. Okay. So do you attend other ISKCON programs also, or this is the only one you attend?
I have been attending almost every organization's program. Gaudiya Math, ISKCON, the other groups, every program I have attended.
Okay. So what's the difference? What's the difference between this one and everything else you have, or what do you like about it and what you don't like about it?
No, this one is the only online program that I am attending. So
What did you say? This is the only program? What?
only online program that I'm attending.
Oh, online program. I see. Okay.
Yeah,
What made you attracted to this session, or what we're doing?
Yeah, like there is one series on YouTube called Prabhupada's Memories. So I saw Naranaran Prabhu's interview in that, like 1 hour, around 1 hour or so. He was describing the pastimes of Prabhupada that he had with him. So from that point of time, I knew about Naranaran Prabhu, and
Hare Krishna.
It's 14 hours. And when I saw these videos on YouTube that there is an opportunity of talking with Naranaran Prabhu directly, then I came to this Zoom session. So this is a very rare thing for people like me to have a direct association with a disciple of Prabhupada. So that's the most
Bye.
thing.
You
To
are the
understand
man.
one clear thing about talking with Narayan is, the thing to understand is, I am your servant. You are my Prabhu or master. Because you are the Shiva, part and parcel of Krishna. I have no standing. I am simply here as your humble servant.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Jai, thank you very much, Vinayak Prabhu, for sharing that wonderful insight. So,
And we want to, and do come back as often as you like. Have you been on this before?
yes, he has been for the past few weeks or months. I forget. He's been.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Well, you're quite welcome. And Narayan may be here, and I gave these memories, etc. but Ramachandra and Rupa Manjari Prabhu and
Mahaprabhu, Shravanacharya.
Mahaprabhu,
Yes.
all these people also have much to contribute, and you'll find a lot of other devotees floating in and out of this conversation. And we would just as soon have 10, 20, 30 people on the Zoom call. But even if there's only 3 or 4, not a problem, because it's going on YouTube, it's going on Facebook, and pretty soon it will be going into our website.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
All right, so our next meeting would be on Saturday and Sunday, California time, 8 p.m. So everyone is welcome, whoever's watching on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. And if you have any questions, you can join the WhatsApp group. It's in the description, and you can ask the questions, and you can get in personal contact with me, Narayan Prabhu, Rupa Manjari, Mahaprabhu, Vinayaka Prabhu. Thank you very much.
We can
Prabhus.
understand, one thing should be clear, although Ramachandra Prabhu is so polite, he is the head of the board of directors of this website. I am simply
Jai.
a guy who shares memories. And I'm glad people like to hear the memories that I'm sharing and the understandings, the Siddhanta. But the actual fact is, Ramachandra is the person to go to, and he is hopefully increasingly going to be, when someone asks a question, instead of me answering directly, I appreciate if you ask Ramachandra, and then Ramachandra will say, Narayan, he wants you to comment on that. That would be nice.
Jai,
Jai.
okay.
Or
Jai.
somebody else. I would
All
like
right.
that.
All right, 3 minutes. We're past 3 minutes. So take
Have
care,
a great
everyone.
week. Have a great week.
Yes, Jai. And Mahaprabhu, I can hear it from my right ear as clear as a bell.
Jai, Hari Bol.
I'm glad it worked out.